Hello, love. The Venusian emissaries of light have started a series of messages and frequency transmissions that I am being guided to share with you now as an empath starseed. These transmission messages, they're going to be sort of a series of transmission messages outside of some of what I was picking up on recently, the Feeling Fridays messages. This is a whole separate series that really wants to come through on behalf of the Venusian emissaries of light, bringing in this cosmic galactic energy and frequency through the portal of this video, which is going to start simply with me sharing some automatic writing, channeling that comes through the beginning of this message as I work with Rosie over here. She came through the last message, which I'm going to link here as well. If you have not watched that yet, 111 on the counter. That's significant. Those energies of the three, the individual and the energy. That's how it's really coming through right now, is this shift in energy for the empath that for some reason is really being emphasized with this new moon in Capricorn happening in the next 5 days. That's the timely aspect of this message. I am recording this on January 13th, calendar time, Earth time 2026. And I'm just going to start by sharing the message that the Venusians want to share with us, along with Rosie here, because they're both working in tandem, okay? They start by saying here, the reframing of boundaries. This is what I heard as I was moving into the message. So it basically started with me asking them what this is, okay? The reframing of boundaries, or healthy boundaries you speak of, is a frequency shift, a reflection of a frequency shift when you begin to value yourself and see the truth of your worth, and this worth being a kind of energetic frequency, a fabric of energy you hold. You automatically begin to value yourself in new ways. And through that valuing, things, people, places, situations, philosophies, not in resonance with this, break off. This, for some of us, is post-alchemy, meaning it's an indication that the transmutation work, the healing, has been done in the etheric, in the spirit realm, and now will start to show up in your physical manifested reality. And again, emphasizing this cycle with Luna, the new moon in Capricorn energies for the 2026 calendar year. And with that, they gave me an affirmation that we can say at the new moon in Capricorn to really begin to kind of cement this in, to set this in. I am open to seeing within my physical reality the shifts I have already made energetically. This has a lot to do with relationships, this frequency shift, and this reframing of the term healthy boundaries essentially is a reflection of this frequency shift. So what's interesting is that I have been shown that what happens is we use certain language to support us on our spiritual journeys, on our healing journeys. And then what happens is, as we begin to shift, as we begin to transmute those energies, that language needs to change as well. So you hear this term being used quite a bit, healthy boundaries, healthy boundaries. Well, what if we reframe that in terms of simply embodying certain values And that in embodying those values, and this is such a Venusian concept, right? What we value, what we honor. It's coming a lot through the energy of Taurus, which is ruled by Venus, okay? What do we value? What do we place worth on, okay? And they're not bringing that word through worth in any way. Interestingly enough, they're saying if you're feeling triggered by that word, then perhaps it's time to look at why you feel triggered by that word. This isn't about monetary value. This is about honoring your energy, your frequency, and your vibration, and understanding that in that energy, in that frequency, in that vibration, there is value to that. And it's about honoring the value of that. That's the way that they're bringing the word worth here, value. And that goes back to this energy. It's interesting. They're reminding me of the shadow energy of the Queen of Cups, okay? In the overgiving sense. And I'm also hearing with that the wounded feminine. So this energy of you need to constantly be giving and be giving and be giving in order to feel worthy of receiving. This is a very big thing. This is a very big thing that we are transmuting currently. This is a huge thing with regard to the Empath Journey and the Empath Collective currently. Whenever you find this message in this video, there is a huge message in that for you, okay? So when we begin to see the value, automatically those healthy boundaries are already there. So for those of us that are struggling with creating healthy boundaries, the reason for the struggle is because we're not seeing the value. When you begin to see the value and what you hold, the energy you hold as being valuable, automatically, when you embody that, the healthy boundaries are already in place, okay? That is the short and sweet part of this message. And on that note, I'm going to be popping some cards for the purpose of activating this energy within each and every one of us, and for some of us as confirmation messages as well, with regard to wherever you're at on your journey. Going to be asking again through the Rose Oracle. The Venusians obviously love this deck, and I'm also going to be channeling the energies of Mana Hecate through a deck that I essentially created to connect with her energies and for the purpose of doing these readings. Okay, so we're going to start with that because Mana Hecate, one of the things that her energy and her frequency holds, she's not just the key holder, she stands at the gates in a way. She stands at the crossroads. And some of us could really be needing some support around that right now. In a way, she is excellent. Her energy is really wonderful to work with when it comes to valuing yourself and the energy of having boundaries, okay? And standing up for yourself. She is very much a protector in that, or protectress in that sense. On the other side of doubt is faith. That is the message that she wants to bring through here. On the other side of doubt is faith. And we've got own it at the bottom of the deck. Own your energy, own your time, own your space. Own it. I'm also hearing with that, own your shadows. Own the weaknesses, that perceived weaknesses. Own it, claim it, name it is what I'm hearing with that. And specifically here, this energy of overgiving, this energy of an imbalance in the value that you give and what you receive in that. And you know, empath, what this is all about, okay? This is the overgiving of when you're being taken advantage of. This is the overgiving of someone not honoring what you have to offer them and what you have to give them. This is the energy of overgiving because you believe at some level, for some of us this is subconscious, so the activation message is to make this conscious now. For some of us at some level, when we are overgiving, it is a way to feel worthy. This is a dysfunctional ego thing. This is part of the empath ego, that in order to be to see myself, to be seen as a good person, I need to be self-sacrificing. I need to be overgiving. That is part of the empath ego. And I'm even hearing with that the empath ego doctrine. There is a specific energy that benefits from that. There's a specific energy that benefits from that type of programming and indoctrination. And with that, I'm getting the energy of the empath narcissist paradigm, right? That's a really good example of it. Sub rosa. I'm hearing with that, home is where the heart is. I'm getting a lot of Hestia energy with that. The energy of the hearth, the energy of... What's interesting is that Hestia was never presented in ancient Greek mythology as an actual personified being. She was an energy. And now I'm seeing with that the circle. She was often represented as a circle. This is very divine, feminine energy. This is the energy of stillness. This is the energy of understanding, again, your value and your worth, being reflected in her energy of the value of the fire, of the hearth, of the source of our nourishment, because we cook food. We feel warmth from a fire. This is a very primordial energy of support, of safety, okay, of the home. And think of the value in that and how often that is overlooked. This is about being very mindful of the simple things. So this is a reminder to all of us as empaths of the simple things and how significant they are. And maybe this is remembering that, like reminding us to be aware of that, you know? Again, with this new moon in Capricorn energies, a lot of this is about energy in the physical, right? So this is about being grateful for the simple things in your physical reality, the roof over your head, the food on your plate. And yet, at the same time, what I'm getting with that is how much we overlook those simple things and how that is us overlooking ourselves and our value and our worth. Okay? The captions for this: hidden in plain sight, mysteries, learning and teaching. There's a whole other message here in this card, which I'm not going to go into in this particular video. But if you feel called to the teachings of the Rose lineage, the sisterhood, the brotherhood of the Rose, the Rosicrucians for that matter, this is a confirmation for you or an activation to get on that, okay? Very much connected to the Venusians as well. So if you feel a resonance with the Venusians, I mean, you know, you are here watching this video, and this is a message on behalf of the Venusians. These are about ancient teachings connected to the heart and very much to the ancient energies of Christianity. Hidden in plain sight. The simple things that we overlook. Oh man, this came through the last message. Plant yourself here. Grounded action, integration, embodiment. This is about embodying your values. A lot of that Taurian Venusian energy is really coming through here about the body, about getting grounded. This is also about honoring yourself and valuing yourself and loving yourself, that you are taking the necessary time out of any given day to tend to your body and to get grounded. Whenever we get grounded as empaths, we are doing ourselves a massive favor, because through getting grounded and through really working on regulating our nervous systems and feeling safe in our bodies, we automatically get so clear when it comes to connecting to our intuition, connecting to our higher selves, embodying our higher selves, connecting to our guides, okay? Connecting in spiritually. And it's as if when we do that, the anxiety, the worrying, the questioning, the fretting around all of this, around, the overgiving, the clarity comes through as to why this is happening. Because you're giving yourself that gift, and you're valuing yourself, and you're making yourself a priority. Which may in fact be the next part of this series of the message, making yourself a priority, okay? I'm going to end that message here. Thank you to the Venusians and through Spirit coming through for this message. Thank you to Rosie for being here with us. I thank you, Empath, Starseed, for sharing your time and your energy with us in this space. If you're feeling called to work with me on this leg of your journey, all of that information is in the description box below. Also, stay tuned for some updates on the community page. I will be doing a live stream soon. It's either going to be this Sunday or next Sunday, as I get some kind of information set up, okay, as to what it's going to look like. It's percolating right now. Stay tuned for that as well. Keep an eye out on the community page for that. I'm sending you so much love wherever you are here on beautiful Mama Gaia, in love and liberation, always.